Northwood University's former chair of the economics department, Larry Reed, notes that free people are not equal, and equal people are not free. We have equal rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We also have very different abilities, goals, and work ethics. That is why we cannot be equal in income or wealth. When you are free to choose your education, your occupation, your place of residence, your friends, and your hobbies, you walk your own unique path and accomplish very different results from others. The market rewards you to the extent that you are endowed with valued talents. Work hard to improve your skills, manage to contribute to the well-being of your customers, and make prudent choices about saving and investing some of your income. How would you go about equalizing income? You can't magically transform the unskilled and the lazy into enterprising geniuses. Instead, you'll need to forbid Taylor Swift to sing, Leo Messi to play soccer, Tom Cruise to make movies, and Elon Musk to develop his next product. Or you can let them work as much as they want, but confiscate and redistribute 99.99% of their income. In other words, you'll try to pull the poor up by dragging the rich down. The result would be to destroy liberty and to impoverish all but the ruling elites. Punishing excellence and redistribution of wealth for the sake of equalizing outcomes inevitably causes economic collapse. As explained by Robert Dale Owen in the wake of the failure of his father's socialist experiment in New Harmony, Indiana, all cooperative schemes which provide equal remuneration to the skilled and industrious as to the ignorant and idle must work their own downfall. For by this unjust plan, they must of necessity eliminate the valuable members and retain only the improvident, unskilled, and vicious. In the 19th century, Karl Marx peddled a theory that the rate of profit will fall, causing more intense exploitation, growing immiseration of the proletariat, that is, falling quality of life for ordinary people, and a collapse of capitalism. None of this, of course, came to pass. Faced with widely shared prosperity on an unimaginable scale, today's socialists like Thomas Piketty worry that the rate of return on capital exceeds the rate of economic growth, causing a concentration of wealth. They predict that capitalism will crumble not because of poverty, but because of inequality. Imagine a revolution that is fought not out of desperation, but because of envy. Brazil's socialist government recently proposed a global tax on the super rich. The goal of this punitive measure is to force them to contribute their fair share to our societies. The obvious presumption is that they have taken something that belongs to us and must return it. Listening to the radical left today, you get the impression that the 99% languish like Roman slaves, while the rich live like Caesars. So take a look at the list of the world's wealthiest people and ask yourself, how did they get so much? If the wealth of these people was stolen, it must be given back. If, however, they got it without using coercion or fraud, no one has legitimate claim on it. There are only two ways to acquire wealth: by voluntary means or by force. Before America, political elites acquired most of their wealth through conquest and plunder. With the rise of free enterprise, and for the first time in mankind's history, billions of people rose out of poverty by production, trade, saving, and investment. Unlike the aristocrats of the pre-capitalist times, most of the wealth that belongs to the top 1% today was not stolen or even inherited. It was created through innovation and entrepreneurial activities that improve our lives. When different people exercise their equal rights to make different choices, they naturally accomplish different things. The resulting inequalities must be embraced and celebrated as indispensable for a free and prosperous society. Yet, we must acknowledge the fact that we do not live in a pure capitalist system. Therefore, not all wealth is created by voluntary means. Some is still being plundered by political elites. Inequalities that result not from free market interactions but from government interventions are unjust and must be rectified. In recent decades, the American political system has become increasingly unfair. It has erected more and higher barriers for the lower-skilled individuals to succeed, such as minimum wage restrictions and absurd occupational licensing. It has further enslaved the poor with welfare checks, and it has made sure that their children will be trapped into the same cycle of poverty and dependency by opposing school choice reforms. At the same time, the government has added thousands of pages of special exemptions for various special interest groups in the IRS code. It gives billions of dollars in corporate welfare to multinational businesses, and it regularly bails out irresponsible companies because they are too big to fail. As I noted in a commentary 15 years ago, in today's upside-down version of capitalism, success is punished and failure is rewarded. Economic justice is no longer blind, and outcomes depend on campaign rather than productive contributions. Hard work subsidizes slothfulness. Prudence subsidizes irresponsibility. Efficiency subsidizes wastefulness. Yes, there is a gap between the rich and the poor, and some of it needs to be addressed. Unfortunately, half of the electorate is being duped that we can solve the problem by doing more of the same. Injustices that come from big government cannot be rectified by bigger government. Only more economic freedom can heal the damage inflicted by cronyism and welfarism.